Hello, Nanstradamus. Good morning.
Good morning. I just think it's awesome this week leading up to the anniversary of January 6th that everyone, and I mean everyone, suddenly realizes what I said on Bill Maher in November 2020.
62 days before 1/6. Yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah.
That's right.
You said Trump will start a political paramilitary insurgency to seize American democracy. It has begun. I detail the Trump insurgency in your brand new book, They Want to Kill Americans, which I don't know how much clearer it can be, right? We have the one Trumper on tape saying, when do we get to start shooting people? I mean, it's they're saying it all out loud, right?
Oh, yeah. And you know, what's funny is that I had to extrapolate. I started that book in October 2020. And when I started seeing these small militia groups going out for training in the lead up to the election. And when I sent the proposal out, it said one of two things is going to happen. That if Trump wins, these people will see themselves as the political paramilitary enforcers of Donald Trump. And if he loses, they will turn into an underground insurgency where they will use political power and paramilitary threats in order to affect whatever they feel that they have. And 62 days later, after I had made that prediction on Bill Maher's show, and you might recall, Bill was being all kumbaya on that show. He was saying, hey, we've got to talk to these guys. We've got to bring them back in to the fold. I said, no, that's not the way it's going to go. We're going to go into a paramilitary insurgency. And here we are.
Yeah. Well, and by the way, speaking of admitting it, you were, I think, commenting on the Peter Navarro interview yesterday on Ari Melber. You said the man just admitted the Trump plan. Mm-hmm. The Green Bay sweep is Nazi for coup d'etat. Then he said the Jews, Soros did it. I was wondering if I watched the same thing. I'm like, he just blamed George Soros. Oh, my God. I mean, and he basically, as Ari said, you realize that what you just described is a coup, right? I mean...
Right. Yeah, Ari Melber put it perfectly. He also said the system was put in place to stop people like you. Yeah. And, what I find amazing is that that's the first time that they've actually gotten one of these people from the Trump side onto the media that could actually hold them accountable. They don't go on CNN and admit these things. I don't know why Navarro thought this would help his book sales.
Yeah.
It's not. What it is, it's actually a document for his future indictment as a coup plotter. Yeah. And it is a coup. They worked tirelessly over months to get over 100 Congress, 147, if I'm not mistaken, members of the House of Representatives, and virtually all of the Republican senators, starting off with Ted Cruz and Josh Hawley, to actually overthrow the government, to create enough murkiness in there that Mike Pence would not certify the election. And then we're finding out this other crazy group had recommended to Trump to institute martial law and take control of the National Guard. This was a very close thing. And the problem is, it's not over. It's going to happen again.
So... the Hannity tech, I don't even know where to start with January 6th stuff, obviously, as we approach the one-year anniversary tomorrow. So they've requested that Hannity respond to questions about his communications with Trump and his staff in the days surrounding the riot. They've asked for his voluntary cooperation. But these text messages, I mean, are really extraordinary. He said, we can't lose the entire White House counsel's office. I do not see January 6th happening the way he's being told. Referring to Trump, he said Pence pressure, the White House counsel will leave. I mean, again, extraordinary how different what he was saying, of course, on air and off air. But he wrote on January 10th to Mr. Meadows and Jim Jordan. He said he can't mention the election again, ever. I did not have a good call with him today. And worse, I'm not sure what's left to say. I don't like not knowing if it's truly understood. Ideas? Okay. The letter, they said, the letter to Hannity said he had advanced knowledge regarding Trump's and his legal team's planning for January 6th, calling him a fact witness in our investigation. This has nothing to do with journalism or First Amendment. The committee wrote that it obtained dozens of text messages between Hannity and members of Trump's inner circles. One of them was, I'm very worried about the next 48 hours. So, and as Adam Schiff said, he was more than a Fox host. He was a confidant, advisor, campaigner for the former president. He is up to his eyeballs in this. What is your take on these?
Very clearly based on those emails, he was briefed in on what the plan was days before the January 6th uprising. And he knew the inner workings of it. And I don't know whether he had sat and talked to Peter Navarro, but he's up to his neck and actually spelled out the supporting parts of the conspiracy. And that's where we are now. And I know a lot of people are going to say, oh, we overuse the word conspiracy and collusion with Trump and the Russians. This one is just a straight up activity where now we have people admitting it. And here's why they admit this. And once again, you're going to hear me do this every time I come on television or radio. They intend to take power this November. And the way that the Democrats are acting right now, we're going to give it to them. I don't see people mobilizing. I don't see people standing up and getting outraged by this. They are getting motivated by the words that they hear. That's why they're telling the plan out loud, because they know no one will do anything about it. No one will go to jail. And when they take power in November, because Democrats didn't come out and mobilize to take 40 seats away from the Republicans, they will end American democracy. Period. Done.
Well, you said that further than that, this is the plan. Steve Bannon is calling for a literal 100-year GOP Reich to control government forever after 2022, and they're not joking. You just said 2022 election will determine if American democracy survives. It will show if dictatorship takes America. The GOP want 40 Dem seats. Our only chance is a voter turnout so massive we keep the House and the Senate. Vote blue, down all tickets, demand voting rights. We just hung up with Jamie Harrison talking about this very thing. That
you had Jamie Harrison on.
Oh, don't start with me again. You're going to lose that booking for me.
I would have held his feet to the fire. That would have been the greatest Stephanie Miller show in the world. Is he doing anything? Because I obviously missed the segment.
Yeah, well, yes, but I mean, this is, as you just said, we have to hold their feet to the fire on voting rights. I mean, I don't know how much more pressure we can put on Manchin, Cinema, whatever, all of it. But, Malcolm, you always say the only thing we can affect is giving them the biggest turnout ever. We've got, and as Jamie Harrison said, there's 80 million of us that voted for Biden. Those people, we didn't go away. We're all still here. It's just, it's listening to people like you that are, and Eric Swalwell that we just played, that are saying this could be our last election if we don't.
Did anyone point out to him that, there were 80 million that voted for Biden, but we lost how many seats in the House? 15, 20 seats, because those Democrats didn't vote for Democratic congressmen. They didn't vote for Democratic secretaries of state. They didn't vote for anyone down ticket. Yeah. They went and they voted up ticket, and we lost seats. We're 5 seats out from losing democracy. And Steve Bannon, this is why I put that tweet up. He wrote the phrase, a 100 years of Republican rule.
Yeah.
The 100-year Reich is what the Nazis called it.
Yeah.
And he's literally using their terminology, telling his people on the Steve Bannon War Room, which, by the way, is one of the top 10 Amazon or Apple podcasts. So they've got reach into their people. He's telling them they intend to eliminate American voting and democracy, and they intend to hold on to power forever as minority rule.
Yeah. Let's talk about what Merrick Garland, what you think he's going to say today. This headline, new Oath Keepers subpoena shows January 6th committee probe is starting to overlap the DOJ investigation. A newly revealed subpoena reveals the House Select Committee's investigation is overlapping. In the one, at least in that case, the committee has subpoenaed the phone records of the family plan for Kelly and Connie Meggs, the 2 members of the Oath Keepers who've been charged with conspiracy, which is the first indication that congressional investigators are seeking records from defendants facing charges connected to the insurrection from the DOJ. So that's the one thing we do want to avoid, right? I mean, everybody points about Oliver North, but
right.
So what do you want to hear from Merrick Garland today? What do you think we're going to hear? I know he can't talk about in detail ongoing investigations, but
I want to hear whatever Glenn Kirshner said he wants
Yes,
to hear.
yes. Yes.
So,
I want to hear
think Glenn
special
Kirshner
counsel
should be-
Glenn Kirshner. That's what I want to hear.
Yeah.
You know what? There really should be a special counsel.
Yeah.
He should be announcing that the Department of Justice is implementing a special counsel. Don't forget, a special counsel can also outlive the
Yes.
Congress and the president.
And this is too important,
So-
and it's too massive and widespread, and it goes up too high. I
Right,
absolutely
but, you
think
know,
so.
Again, everybody last year, it was let's bring in the technocrats, let's do kumbaya, let's not hold anyone accountable, that will make them unhappy. It was right back to 2008 with Barack Obama, or 2009 with Barack Obama. And sometimes, and now we're on the precipice of the end of American democracy. I mean, we're teetering on the edge. I've got Jennifer Rubin, who is a hardcore conservative writer at the Washington Post, putting out articles every day screaming about how we're going to lose American democracy in less than 10 months.